It's hot on the island. It's so hot in Ibiza right now, like 45 degrees. But I gather here. It's hot in Ibiza. It's like 45 degrees or so, and I'm on fire. But I came here today to talk about something very important, and it's archetypes. You see, you have multiple personality disorder. Okay, it's not a disorder. You have multiple personalities, and so do I. You see, we have so many archetypes in our subconscious that every day taking different kind of decisions, creating different kind of things, behaving in one way or another, and eventually creating the life that you are having right now. You see, the woman that you are at work, she's completely different compared to the woman that you are in your relationship, or the woman that you are with your best friend when you're on holiday. So which one is the real you? Let's dive in today into the rabbit hole of feminine archetypes, so I can give you all of the answers so you can really step in your power and be empowered woman that you was born to be. My name is Aista Nandi. I am a mentor for ambitious women who desire to soften without losing their power, who desire to create and live the life while staying deeply connected to their body, to their feelings, to their emotions, to their sensuality, so they can create beautiful things in life without sacrificing their body or their love life. So welcome to Circle of Women, welcome to this world where we're discovering all of the things connected to feminine embodiment and feminine power. So feminine archetypes. The first person who put the name on this topic is Carl Gustav Jung, Swiss psychologist. I absolutely adore his studies, his research, the things that he found is really phenomenal. And it's for the past 10 years, it's been a big foundation for the work that I do with the women. Now, I'll try to explain in a very down-to-earth, grounded language. Imagine this is your body. And now we have feminine archetype, let's say lover, right? A very sensual, very erotic, very loving, caring woman that is deeply connected to her body and senses. And now this archetype is active in your body. So you're going, and it works as a magnet. You're going to attract certain people into your life, certain opportunities, certain offers. Your life gonna look like very sensual and very feminine and very soft and filled with romance and filled with love and erotica, right? Now, if this archetype is suppressed, if it's from being a positive, it becomes a negative, shadowy one, it's going to attract completely different people, completely different kind of experiences, emotions into your daily life. And we have multiple archetypes that works as a tiny little magnets in your subconscious, in your body. It cannot be seen, it cannot be touched, but it can be felt. Oh, it can be so felt. So we see they're working in your body and attracting different kind of things. So once you become aware, once you bring consciousness to this archetypal world and you are aware what archetype is dominant, what kind of archetypes became a little bit more suppressed, what archetypes is like overly active perhaps. So then you can design this movie that give the right leading roles to the right archetypes and the supporting roles for the archetypes that you want to be in a supporter role. So you can truly design a life that feels like yours, that feels the movie that you want to create. Perhaps you want to live in a drama or in a adventure movie or a beautiful romance movie or a comedy, I'm sure it's not a scary movie, that's for sure. So you see, once you know what kind of movie you want to live, you can design what archetype is running the show, right? And not only in your life, also in your business. It's my business completely changed when I chose that lover archetype with a little bit of rebel energy. I want to see like in front of Circle of Women movement. This became my branding, instead of being a maiden, very soft, very pink and very, comfortable, cute, right? I added a little bit more red. I added a bit of more intensity, a little bit more taboo topics into the field, right? So I really started to embody lover and rebel. So a little bit more black, a little bit more red, just intensifying everything, right? And bringing more eros into the field. It really helped me to stand out in the industry. It really helped me to connect with the woman, because I became a leader. I wasn't just a safe woman that is like very comforting to listen. I used to be this woman when my main offer was Circle of Women training, right? But when I fully stepped into the mentor's shoes, I needed to intensify my language, and I needed to start talking about the things that truly matters, but it's still a little bit taboo, such as sex, death, magic, all of this eros, right? All of these powerful things, money. So this is how archetypes work in your life and in your business. Now, there are so many archetypes that we could talk about, but I chose to dedicate my life and work with 7 main archetypes, and they are known as maiden, lover, warrior woman, Amazon, mother, queen, and wise woman. There are many, many more. Now, if I work with women and the main desire is to activate their sexual energy, their sensuality, we might work with maiden, lover, perhaps sacred slut, and priestess. So you see, it depending what you want to unleash in your body, these are the archetypes that we're gonna call forward, right? Then if you want to work with anger, perhaps we're going to call in wild woman much more, right? So it really depends of the topic that we work with. But in general, my mentioned 7 archetypes, they are very much connected to the chakra system in our body. And this is how we can put women in her power fastest. Now, in a man's body, there are completely different archetypes known as warrior, magician, lover, and king, right? Now, we all have anima and animus. We all have feminine and masculine energy in our body, but because we chose to incarnate in a woman's body in this lifetime, it's our birthright to first activate the feminine archetypes and then activate the masculine archetypes. In ancient Egypt and ancient Greece, priestesses would work with archetypes, and they would dedicate 2 years for each archetype. First to the feminine, then to the masculine, and man would do opposite. First he would activate masculine archetypes in his body, then feminine, and then they would meet for the final ritual called Hieros Gamos in the temple, and this where the perfect feminine and the perfect masculine will meet each other, and they would make love, and this would be the final ritual and they would become the superhumans. So it's a really, really phenomenal work. And I choose to activate the archetypes through somatic movement. So we play different kind of music that it's really connected to this archetypal energy, and we embody this energy through movement that is designed again to activate that particular energy in our body. We also work with yoga nidra. It's kind of similar to, it's like a deep form of meditation, also a little bit like you're reaching kind of hypnotic state, where we meeting the representation of this particular archetype in our body, and we do have conversation, and we're discovering events that blocking us to access the full beauty of this archetypal energy, right? So we creating a beautiful relationship with this energy through this deep form of meditation. And journaling, of course, shadow work, mirror work, lots of practices that we integrate into conscious embodiment of this archetype, so we can design the life that truly feels ours, the life that feels as good as it looks. So let's explore very briefly these archetypal energies that I work with women in my one-on-one mentorship and in Embody Her, my signature main offer. If you feel that you are really interested into this feminine mysteries, into woman's power, into feminine embodiment, nervous system work, and you would like to know more about this type of work, then I'm inviting you to join my free offer, The Pearl Experience, a free Telegram channel where I share with you powerful transmissions around the work that I do. So click the link in the description box, and it's free, so you can join us for a couple of weeks or a month and just dive for free into this realm much deeper, and then you can take decision if you want to work with me further or not. So click the link and see you there. Now the first archetype that is connected to the first chakra, this archetype is known as Maiden. Maiden is a very beautiful archetype. She is our teenager self, right? She is the yes woman. She is optimistic. She's a little bit naive. Life is roses, rainbows, and butterflies. She's saying yes to the beautiful things in life, new relationship, new opportunities, offers collaboration. She's excited about the things in life, right? And so this is the maiden self. Now the problem with her, she can become shadow as any other archetype, and when she becomes shadow, she becomes very like princess in need of rescue kind of situation. So she's not fully in her power. She's struggling to provide for herself. She's struggling to be empowered woman. She's always looking for a man or a mentors or people who can put her in her power. So for her it's really hard to access power within herself. So this is how she can become a little bit of shadowy, right? Now, very often I see women stuck in this archetype. When we haven't had a powerful initiation during our teenager years, maybe divorce, separation, breakup, it's hard for us to transition into a more empowered archetype known as lover. She's more connected to the womb space. So the good things in life, such as erotic pleasure, right? Her sexuality, also beauty, the daily rituals. She's very good in dressing up beautifully, the skincare routine, she loves organizing romantic dates. So everything in her life becomes romance. Everything in life is just filled with so much pleasure and devotion. Now, the beautiful representation of this archetype would be Marilyn Monroe or Samantha from Sex and the City, right? So she's really empowered woman, so deeply connected to her beauty, her sensuality, her erotica, flirt, right? And she's powerful woman. She knows her worth, right? Now, the problem with this archetype, when she becomes shadow, when she becomes overly expressed, what happens that a woman can lose herself in vanity. So she spends without consciously thinking if this is really what she needs, if this item really going to serve her, because she's just very much living in the moment and I want it and I'm gonna have it, right? And regarding relationship, also relationship can start to be a little bit tricky, especially long-term relationship, because she's so enjoying these like very intense sensations that we're experiencing at the beginning of the relationship, right? And once the hormone starts to drop down, she starts to be bored and she leaves the relationship and goes to another man. But we know that relationship is like a cycling thing, right? There is the peak, then it drops down, and again we're sorting out the problems, and it rises up even deeper, and again. So it's like American hills a little bit. So, but the lover, once she feels that the hormones, the feelings dropping down, she gets bored, and it's time to change, right? So for her, it's really hard to commit. It's really hard to also have a family, because it's hard. It's hard to be a mother. It's hard to do so many things, and she wants easy life. She wants pleasurable life, right? But it doesn't mean that we cannot call her forward when we are mothers, when we committed to a long-term relationship, right? And actually, this is the thing that's going to save your marriage and add so much depth and spice and juiciness into it when you call this archetype in your marriage, right? Then we also have a wild woman archetype. Now, wild woman archetype is very much needed to be activated in a woman's body, like 21st century woman's body, because from the very early age, we are trained to be a good girl. We are trained to behave, to be, in the box kind of way, right? There was rules, regulations. This is how we need to act, behave, and talk and look, right? So wild woman, she comes here and she's the one who breaks the limitations, who says that what is the box? The box is not existent. What is the box? What is the box? Tell me. So she really breaks all of the rules that exist, and she gives us this fresh kind of blow of freedom, and freedom to be ourselves, freedom to express ourselves in a way that feels authentic, that feels true to us. She gives us freedom to create the stuff that truly matters to us, freedom to look the way we want to look, freedom to embody the most iconic version of ourselves that truly feel like us, not a version of us that some influencer or mentor wants to place on us, but she truly allows us to connect with this, the most authentic, the most free, the most iconic version of us. So wild woman archetype is just so needed to break the box, to break the limitations, to break the conditioning, and release this good girl within us. The one that obeys, the one that says yes to everybody, the one that's always, sweet and kind. It's good to have essence of her, of course, but we need a little bit of bad girl in us. We need a little bit of dark feminine, femme fatale in us in order to have a boundaries, to know what we want, also to activate our eros, our animal archetype within us, that is deeply connected to her intuition, to her senses, like a wild woman, like a wolf, deeply connected to the tribe, to her instincts, the archetype that is so alive and so awake and so present to her body. She lives in the body, not in the mind. Like most of the ambitious women, we do live in the mind, thinking, organizing, planning. So when we're connecting with the wild woman, like, wow, now I have a goosebumps, we're really connecting with the body, with the desire, with the feelings, with emotions, and it's so empowering. Now, the problem with this archetype, if she's like overly active, it can be hard for us to fit in the society because we're just breaking rule after rule, and at the end we just feel this desire to completely separate ourselves from the world and go into the woods and live there with our animals and just completely separate from the world, from the community, which is not a good thing. We need to be part of the community. Like the wolves cannot survive alone, they need to be in the pack. So do we women, so do the men, right? We are the community beings, and in order for us to thrive, we need to have our village, our circle, our community, our family, right? We can do things by ourselves, but it's gonna cost us a lot. It's gonna cost our body, it's gonna cost our happiness, right? So we are much better when we are in the community. So we need to learn how to be really ourselves, free, liberated, connected to our instincts and desires and the body, but function in the society, create beautiful offers, beautiful businesses, and stay in the society, make money, give our service for others so they can rise too and take from others, right? We need to be part of the village. This is when wild woman archetype gonna truly thrive. This is when you gonna truly thrive. Okay, then the next archetype that I would like to present to you today is the mother archetype. The mother archetype is the one that I want to bring into this world the most. And it doesn't mean that I want you all to become mothers. No, it's not about that. Mother archetype, yes, it's about devotion, it's about love, it's about service, it's about its beautiful feminine qualities such as care and nurturing, right? But and we women normally we are very good in doing that. We're taking care of our kids, our animals, our husband, our friends, colleagues, right? Students. But the problem with this archetype is that we're forgetting how to nurture, how to mother ourselves. So this is where the inner child work starts. This is where we're starting to take care of the little girl within us. We're starting to listen to her needs, to her dreams, to her desires, and we're trying to do everything to give all this to ourselves. The mother archetype, also she's showing up very often in the relationship, and it's not a good thing. We need to be a lover in the relationship and not a mother. Because if we're gonna mother everybody around ourselves, we're gonna completely exhaust ourselves. Our cup will be empty and we cannot thrive, neither in relationship, neither in the motherhood, neither in the business. So we need to learn how to take mother our kids, mother sometimes our one-on-one clients, right? Maybe our students, but and ourselves the most. But not our friends. We need to be friend for our friends. We need to be a sister for our girlfriend, right? We need to be a lover for our beloved. So we need to put those archetypes in the right roles in order to take control of our life. Mother archetype is connected to our heart, to this area, and if she's neglected, if the radical self-love is not existent, and if self-love is just bubble bath and face mask for you on the Sunday evening, it's not the most beautiful expression of the mother archetype. You can go so much deeper with somatic movement, with meditations, with inner child work. So we can really activate this area, and you can give and receive much more love from your beloved, from the world in general, from your kids. Otherwise, breast cancer can happen in your life. Other autoimmune diseases can happen in your life because you're completely neglecting your body and your needs and your feelings, your emotions, right? So there are many other archetypes that I could talk with you, but the final one, very important one, is the Queen, is the 7, the final archetype. She's much more connected to this realm, like higher chakras, so she can feel a little bit more woo-woo, a little bit more delusional, but she's very, very important archetype. And actually the entire journey of feminine woman's power is the journey from the maiden to the queen, is the journey from being a little bit more naive and dependent woman, but still very joyful and happy and roses and rainbows and butterflies kind of thing, into the queen, the woman that is grounded, rooted in her power. She has a big vision for the world. She creates beautiful things. She knows that she needs to have queendom. She cannot do everything by herself, so she has people assisting her, working for her, going toward the same mission, toward the same vision, right? And she creates huge things because her mission is so big. If she is not the one that wants to, go fully into the business and create big things, maybe she fully devoting her life to be a wife, and she is really standing in the powerful role of being a wife. So it's not really a sacrifice; it's her biggest joy and the biggest. The most beautiful thing that she can do with her life, to be a mother, to be a wife. And she creates beautiful things in the house and beautiful things with relationships. She teaches kids in the most beautiful way ever, and she's hosting people. She is, creating heaven on earth by embodying this like wife archetype, right? Or we're going more into the business archetype, right? We creating this hive of bees, and we're becoming the queen bee here, right? So it really, there's no one way. It depends if if you want to go more into the badass business side or more into the goddess, the vibe side, right? There's no better or worse. You need to tune into your heart and choose. What is your mission in this life, right? So I'm not gonna say that you must be, business babe, or you must be housewife, right? It has to be, it has to be connected to your heart, to your inner teacher, to your truth. So, or maybe you will find yourself somewhere in between, which is also a very beautiful place to be, like I do. So yeah, and there are many other archetypes that we can choose to embody, and this is what we do in Embody Her program. This is what I do with my one-on-one clients. So if this information landing, resonating with you, then Embody Her, our one-on-one coaching, is really for you place to be. So yeah, this is the archetypes that we can activate in our life, activate in our embodiment, so we can truly create a life that feels so good, much more beautiful that it looks like. And we can choose what archetype we need to activate during the love making. And you can shift into this archetype just like that. You can shift from being a mother into being a lover. And when you in the school and there's problems, I don't know, maybe someone is bullying your child. You don't want to go to the school like a good girl, like an Aiden, right? Like sweet and kind. You want to embody the wild woman, the warrior energy. You want to show up like a lioness and like, stop it. Nobody gonna harm my child, So you're really gonna show up from this energy. So people gonna listen. So people going to, take the right decisions, right? So, or if you leading huge movement, if you're building a big brand, if you have lots of people that you work with, you don't want to show up as just purely as a lover, like very sensual and loving and caring and flirting all the time. You need to have a strong queen archetype here, that it has this bold, big vision, and she's not afraid of challenges. She knows that the life and business don't have to be always just very beautiful and smooth journey. She knows that it's a shadow work. Entrepreneurship, it's the biggest shadow work journey ever. It's such a big spiritual growth journey, right? And lover, she's scared of that, but the queen, she's not afraid. Ooh, she's not afraid. So you see, when you first of all, you're becoming aware of this archetypal energies. You know their strengths and their shadows. You know which archetype is leading the show in your body right now. And then you take the conscious decision what kind of archetypes you want to be more active and which one needs to step back a little bit. And then you practicing activating them through somatic movement, through meditation, through journaling, through shadow work. And then when the situation happening, you can consciously choose what kind of energy you want to embody now. And because you practice constantly activating them, then you can just take the decision and jump into this archetypal energy. The energy that truly serves you in this particular situation. And this is when the life becomes so interesting. It's like a movie, really. You becoming the director of your movie, and you designing how you want your life to look and feel like. And in my opinion, this is what the true empowerment is. Being in control of your life, being the creator, the director, and just creating the most phenomenal movie ever called your life. So if you feel called to take your life in your hands, in your control, and design the masterpiece, the movie that is really worth multiple Oscars, then archetypal embodiment work is designed for you. I hope to see you in Embody Her, and if you want to taste my work, then click the link in the description box and join the free experience, the Pearl experience, and where you can taste my work. See you there.